Hello, Midnight Coders, and welcome to a fuck around and find out video. Where on today's video, my co-host and partner in crime, Prof, and I are going to be joined by our newfound genius friend Josh and our newly acquainted partner in crime, Tonic Box. So, in today's exciting little find out adventure, we are going to explore. Yes, I just got flashbanged by my stream. Uh, we are exploring the D programming language. Got to get that D. So, without further ado, what in the fuck is D? Josh, as our local expert, can you tell
Yes.
myself and our viewers what the hell is D?
Yeah. So D was so D is a around 2000s language. It was initially the first big attempt. It was the original C++ killer. It was the original language trying to basically say, "Hey, you can have low level but also safety." The main way it has two things that it does. It does a lot of cool things, but there are two things that if you're like, okay, tell me D in like one sentence, it's an optional garbage collector you can opt into for some code. So yes, you won't have to forget about freeing those pointers. They will be freed automatically for you. And it has a lot of features for constraint-based programming. So one of the key aspects of D is every method can have code a specific block that checks the values of the arguments and one that checks the value of the return value. So the idea is it's sort of you separate your code into three parts instead of having all the validation logic directly in your body. You have a separate thing where you put validation logic of your arguments, and you have a separate thing for the return value, and that way everyone is happy, and if someone passes a value they're not supposed to, they get an error. And this also allows the compiler to optimize things a bit extra because it can understand where where are your constraints, where are you applying them, and yes.
So this is
So there you
comparing D to, by the looks of it, C, C++, and Java. As a
yes.
front end compiler and like all for all intents and purpose a language expert, what can you tell us about the comparison between D and Java or C++?
I think C++ is a better comparison. D feels like a more restrained C++. It's like C, but with extra features like object orientation. And that is going to be something that you guys in the Java space like a lot. And again,
Mm,
garbage collection.
I love my
You
garbage
can
collection.
do you can do those pointers, you can do that you can use those, you can use it's like having it's like having a subset of C++, not really against different features, but a very focused set of C++, not too many crazy features. Just C with object orientation and the constraints thing I saw and garbage collection.
Mm,
Yeah.
And also there are free main tool chains, there are free main implementations of D. So this is something I have to explain. I think I have to reiterate very clearly. A language is not equal to its implementation. A language is a set of rules we all agree to follow that determine what a code in a language, like what it looks like, what its syntax is like. And
mm,
then an implementation of the language is, a language front end, so a compiler front end that is capable of reading code following the language specification. So these are two separate things. You can have one language, and many people have had their own takes on how to read code written in D. So here you have three main implementations. You have a reference compiler, which is when we say reference, we some like in this sense we mean that was done by the original makers of the language. So when we call something a reference version, what we also mean is if the other two implement something differently and it's works slightly, if something works slightly differently in the non-reference version, the reference version is supposed to be like the canonical, this is how it's supposed to run, to work. This is what the language designers implemented. This is their implementation. This is showing you how they think something should be interpreted. Because yes, sometimes standards are not as accurate as you might think. Sometimes standards have a lot of holes, and sometimes some things are up for interpretation in standards. So sometimes there's a big debate as to what is the spirit of the implementers. Not the implementer, of the language designers. What is the spirit of the language designer? What do they intend the language to look like? Because sometimes there are holes. And the great thing is when those same language designers also work on an implementation that allows them to effectively provide an example of what they view as as like those plots that are a bit up for interpretation. What is their view of what should be the correct way to do it? Um, and so there's a reference compiler made by the D people, and then there's an LVM and a GNU one. So GCD is a part of the GNU project. So there's if you've used GCC, G++, if you've used GCJ, there's a Go compiler. If you have used any of these tools, you are using a GCC-based compiler. So this is one with a D front end. Again, remembering to the last of the podcast, a front end is the part that reads and analyzes source code that is independent from the rest of the compiler. So, uh,
front
and
end
we
front
have
end compilers, not a front end developer like
Yeah,
you would think
and
of.
we have an LVM based decompiler, so LDC. So that is an LVM that is a front end that targets the LLVM middle and then back end. There you go. So three main implementations: one reference one GCC based one, and one LVM based one. The main compiler frameworks of the world, until mine gets more popular, is GCC and LLVM. So this makes sense. You essentially have two. You have one that is like this is what the language designers say D is supposed to be, and then you have two which are the big frameworks, the ones with the powerful optimizers, the set of backends that are really, bulletproof, tested, and everything. And there's one implementation for GCC and one implementation for LVM. And you
So,
also see that he's pointing out GDB support. So usually it's not just the compiler. GCC and LVM have infrastructure for things like debuggers and linking and all sorts of other tools that you want around the compiler. And
hmm,
so the GCC ships with GDB, which is the debugger made by the same people who make GCC, and presumably the LVM version works with LDB, which is the debugger thing made by the LVM people. There you go.
interesting.
That was my monologue.
So, so what was, I guess, why was D invented? Like, what was it? What was it? What was the issue with it?
Because
It was designed.
there was already because people were already upset at C++, because someone thought that, they were like, I think I can make, and also garbage collection at the time was really coming up. I mean, at the time, that was one of the cold winters of C++ was the time when D was coming up because Java was so strong. And what was Java's main feature? Oh,
Garbage
it's memory
collection.
safe. See,
Hmm.
yeah. See, Rust people didn't invent anything. I'm just kidding.
I
Um,
have a comrade that might argue that.
um, there was memory safety. And so what D essentially offered, right, was, well, hey, we can have this low level stuff with this garbage collection technology. Thumbs up, smile. I think you might.
Mm-mm. So now, I guess I ask this for every language that that people introduce me to. Is it like, can you write front end? Can you write back end? Is it? I guess it's not more than
It's more designed as a systems programming language, right?
okay, okay.
So I'm not aware of big frameworks, but maybe there
Because
is. I
like
think yeah, there's a GUI framework for it.
9 times out of 10, when I learn a new I learn about a new language like this or Zig or Rust or whatever,
Sure.
I always tend to ask people the same questions. Is like, can I build a back
What's the use
end
case?
app
Yeah.
with this? Can I build a standalone
Right.
application with this? Can I like kind of get the feel of what it is that I can build with this language?
Honestly, for desktop apps, you'll be quite well served. There's quite a few GUI frameworks
Hmm.
for D for like native applications, right? For the desktop. There he's showing you he did the hello world there. Um,
Oh shit, you did that
but
quick? Like, while what?
no,
Oh, okay, that was an
No,
that's
example. Okay, jeez, I was gonna say like, fuck, how long have you been using this language?
but you can see how readable it is to someone who knows a bit of Java, right? Very Java-esque in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that does actually look really
yeah.
LSB seems to
familiar.
be
LSP seems to be not LSP. Whatever, we will not be using large.
yeah,
Mm.
Uh,
large projects. All right.
let's pop over here. There we go.
And D, I must say, don't think D is not used at all. D has found uses at Netflix, at eBay, in the 2010s, as I say, D was what not wasn't the Rust of today, but it
Hmm.
was positioned in a similar way. But
Okay.
it never got the success that Rust got, but it was positioned at it was the language that was this is memory safe,
So now,
but it doesn't give
what
up on low level stuff.
what type of systems would you build with this? And by types, I mean, like, for example, COBOL would do like financial transactions. Java does a lot of microservices and backend
Sure.
systems. And like, what would what would be the
I
ideal
think
use case
probably
for
desktop. I
D?
would say desktop applications
Really?
because yeah, it's so nice to have a systems language with a GC for doing something like a GUI. I don't.
Now,
Maybe Prof will argue something about that, but I personally think
Yeah.
that
now there's
that's
a
a
lot of
good
times that when I think of like a desktop application, I think of something like C++ plus plus or Java most times.
or C sharp, right?
Or
Yeah,
well,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like something within like the C or Java like ecosystems. Like
D
I
works really well for that.
okay. See, I've never learned nor heard about D before earlier this morning when
Right.
somebody mentioned it and then Prof was like, "Yo, I have a great idea for a stream." And I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah, you know, crazily enough, I in school had an assignment where we had to use D. Um,
We have a question in the comments, which Josh, I think you may have already answered, but it would be good to kind of get a direct answer
okay.
on this one here. Gentleman in the comments says, "Is this a language between C++ plus plus and Java?"
Yes, full on yes.
There you are, Mr. Labin, Mr. Labin, unless I said
Because
that wrong.
again, it was at the time it was more of a it was trying there was a huge war between Java and C++, plus plus, and I'll be honest, at the time C++ plus plus was not faring well.
I
So
remember
this was
that
kind of
war. Like I remember, well, not that war, but I remember. Yeah, sorry, old dog.
well, it's so D was essentially like trying to be the peacemaker. I'm kidding. was
Oh,
trying to it's
it's the
trying.
Canada of languages. It's the Peace Corps.
No, but it was trying to give, like, people were like, but Java's slow. Like, the joke is always like, Java, what? Is your company rich?
Mm.
And then, like, they're like, but it's memory safe, and it's like object orientation is reasonable about it and everything. And D was like, let's take all the complaints people have with these two languages and let's make them a soup that we think addresses their concerns.
See, I kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that's what C sharp was. Up
Yes.
until now,
Uh,
up until today when I discovered that, the D is not just D is an actual
yeah,
programming language.
C sharp C sharp had a similar goal, but C sharp went it at a very different way. D was more trying to get C++ style programming to be more on to have some of the capabilities of higher level languages, but most notably Java, right? Whereas C sharp, I would argue, is a bit the other way around. It's more giving what started as a higher level languages progressively the full low level capabilities, right?
there's like three jokes that I want to make right now, but I would much rather get monetized. Yes, it has to do with telling my wife she's a programmer if she starts wanting to work with that D.
Oh God. Yeah, you
uh,
got you got to be careful. You got to be careful with the D line because you can make a lot of jokes that are
oh, there's so many
They-
jokes that
very.
they just write themselves. It's like AI for. Okay, okay, I can't. Okay,
I will point out something. D is still used. It's pretty niche, right? But D is still used in some places. If you want to get a job that is not going to be replaced by AI, D is pretty good.
this is
AI is very bad at D.
this is there's a comment in the comments here by Java Javelin or Lynx. He's a longtime subscriber. No, my friend, I am not breaking up with Java. We did not have a fight.
Yet,
This is a long-term relationship. It is no
for
polygamy.
now.
These guys here are trying to like stretch me out and kind of make me go into some polygamy and get some extra programming wives. But
um.
like my heart and
Okay.
soul, my
So,
heart and soul
by
is
the
always
way,
going to be with my native Java.
by the way, I will point out that we just had a working web server in around 15 lines of code.
What?
Very nice. Very nice.
Y'all did that while I was yapping. God damn. See, this is this is why we love that D. I
Yeah.
can't.
Do that in Spring Boot in 15 lines, Java nerd.
I could do that in one file, nerd.
Look how nice D is.
One
Like,
line of
you see the
code.
little nicety.
Spring
See the little
application dot
niceties.
start.
If there's no arguments to pass to an object constructor, you can omit the parentheses outright.
That is nice. I like
Yeah.
that. See, yeah, I like that. I wish Java you could just get rid of the new keyword, to be honest. But
Okay, so now right now he's
links.
opting into GC.
Oh,
I have to say something. GC is opt-in. No, sorry, it's not opt-in, it's opt-out. So right now he's into GC, he can opt out at any time.
Yeah,
okay,
I think these new are GC the references, no?
Yeah.
okay.
So I think that isn't this a no? This is just a class type, right? Okay.
Yes.
So
So
class
GC
types in D are
Yes.
what? GC.
Before we jump too far, links in the comments here or Java Javelin. Just to touch base on that. This specific series that I got of live streams called FAFO or the Midnight FAFO is just a late night experience where we quite frankly explore and we just find out. We just take a topic, take a thing, and just decide to we're experienced developers, so we do very scientific work, and we like to fuck around and figure shit out.
It's honestly a very valid way of dealing with this. And also, I think is nice about here is we have I think usually you'll have a very wide range of specialties on board. So
Hmm.
that gives you a taste of things.
Well, it's great when we can get like a small group of professional developers into a room that have different backgrounds, and
Yeah.
we can all just get together and be like,
Yeah,
"Yo, let's explore this topic together and
exactly.
use all of our expertise and figure something out."
Yeah.
I love it. Sorry, I just
Yes,
wanted to.
I
I just
don't
Oh,
want
know. For some reason, my editor doesn't want to understand dependencies.
import
there is some.
vibe D
I
vibe.
will say something that is funny. By the way, this is something that the Java people will actually kind of like. D came out way before the time of LSPs, right? What was also the thing that people was maybe Prof can guess this. What was the thing? What was the paradigm shift in how people wrote their code within something like Java versus C and C++?
The paradigm shift? What do you mean? I don't
Not the
understand.
language, not the language. The tool like not the tool chain itself. I mean, so I'm just saying IDEs, right?
Yeah,
There were
because
IDEs
What?
for C++, like Borland. There's obviously Pascal had the first one, Lazarus.
Yeah.
But
I came from a very
Java
painful time.
really, Java really like Java's like IDEs, right? It's like an
Yeah.
IDE, and so what the
Oh, that.
D,
Okay.
and so what the D people did is they really put a lot of effort. Like I think the D plugin for IntelliJ has like 15 years of or 20 years of active development on it or something stupid. It's older than many in JetBrains things.
Yeah.
uh,
Funnily enough, it
When
doesn't
now
seem to
now
work.
it doesn't work great.
now I'm
But
curious.
what
When
I wanted to point out that yeah, because it's being bad. I want because it doesn't have the correct home directory. But what I wanted to that the home path is incorrect, right? But what I wanted to point out, right, is that is a very different thing from what you're used to today, right? You're used to today, LSPs being the first thing like language support wise, right? But at the time, again, trying to bring in that Java flavor to the low level people, right? The D people decided to make IntelliJ one of their main, at some point, like literally one of the main ways they developed like tooling for where
hmm,
they thought you were going to edit your code.
hmm.
See?
Your home directory, Mister.
Yeah, it's not working. Oh,
Oh, oh,
it is
oh,
working.
there we go.
Not working. Fuck.
Uh,
No, it says it's cannot run.
app settings. Can I
We'll
configure?
figure
Oh,
this out around time we get
configure
there.
the output folder. The output folder. Go back into your settings.
Maybe round up.
No, go back into your thing. It didn't have an output folder
Wait,
to
what?
put the compilation to, didn't it? Okay, never mind. Now we're
Wait,
good.
it's working.
Clicking.
Yes, but it said that it couldn't. It didn't have an output directory for the output to go to. So go back into your project settings
Uh,
on the far right, the cog with the blue dot on it.
oh, there you go. There's some job too.
No, the cog with the blue dot on the top bar,
Oh,
project settings or project structure, output, compiler output. Just point that to some random ass directory
no,
like
but it should be in. And okay, build. Okay, what is it?
the package
Oh, so it is running, but it Oh,
HTTP
probably. Oh, I understand why. Because
failed
this
to
You have
issue
a
so
running
that.
server. You have a
Yeah,
running.
yeah, I
oh
do have a
yeah
running server. That's my
failed
problem.
to failed to
Obviously,
run.
having two things competing for the.
Port.
Yeah, two things. Oh,
I need to wait because Linux needs to reclaim what?
try 42069 just to change the port.
Oh no, it is working. The warning is incorrect. There you go. and we
Let's
can
go to
confirm
you.
that it is this.
I tried the
Uh,
debugger for fun. Does the debugger work?
There you go. There you go. And now if I rerun this, you get hello from the. Yeah, it's working. Okay.
Okay.
Nice. But do I have go to definition here? Nope.
No.
No.
Intelligence seems disabled.
No.
Is it the
Okay.
is it the
Well,
LS is it the LSP that you're trying to get working now, or what?
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to get any
go there,
editors.
go there, go there, go there. Wait. Go to go to the settings of that.
Cog right above your
What?
mouse, right above your mouse by the play button. Up, 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 up. Where you
It's
at?
not I don't think
No, down, down.
This?
There's a
This?
yes. You see? Oh, but it was moved and they don't use this. So, you see, I used to have to set up all these manually.
yeah. So it did detect it in his bin user dub directory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still used not to use to dub. At the time dub wasn't a thing. You had all the independent tools.
What
And you
the
had to
hell is
point to the
Yeah.
standard library manually. Right? If you look at dependencies, right?
left hand side? Oh, never mind.
It's C. I don't even see STD.
The standard library of D, I think, is called the Phobos or some reason.
Phobos.
Yeah, don't ask. Yeah, Phobos, like not like phobia. It's like the Martian moon of Phobos.
That's weird.
That's great.
Okay, well,
I
in
love how
theory this
I
could have
love the
worked, but I don't understand why it doesn't.
I love the dependencies. Silly 1.1.1.
I don't know why it doesn't understand. I wonder, you know what? One thing I could very briefly FAFO is see if what happens if I manually get the library and like just put it into my project, stick it in there.
Oh,
You
just
know what I
shove
mean?
it in. Just shove it in and find out while we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I
Yeah,
can't. I someday want to get monetized. I can't. Can't.
the,
Yeah. Okay, so I
the,
got the
the
vibe.
resolver will find something. Resolver.
Oh,
What,
God,
what is a resolver, chat? Do people chat? What is a resolver? Come on, tell me about cheating. I see you guys on chat GPT. What is a resolver, chat?
Yeah, I can't just stick it in there, so it's not. I don't know why it doesn't want to work, but in any case, let's actually try and write something with maybe just the standard library.
Yeah.
So.
So, folks, so try to use constraints. That's like one of the D things. Try to use constraints.
Okay, let me just see dub init. I think I wanna JSON. Rest doesn't really matter. Dub build. There we go. Exit. Source app D. There we go. Okay, so template constraints. Is this what you mean?
No, that okay. Just
You mean contracts, maybe?
yeah, contracts. That's what I mean.
Thank you. Did you know, Josh, by the way, C++ also has contracts.
Yeah, I know it does, but you know D had them 20 years before them.
Yeah, well, it took us 20 years to standardize them, you know.
It took 10, 20 years, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Shush.
let's check it.
We're Java developers here. We're used to slow progression. Look how long we use Java 8.
Hey, I still use Java 11.
Okay, so this is in the expression and then failure string and then function body.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make a precondition like, I don't know, let's say void. Any ideas?
So I have a question here. I have a question here.
Yes.
So Is this something similar to C++, where if you wanted to make like an inner class or some shit, you would do a struct?
No.
Because I noticed
This is
that.
related to the validation thing I was talking about. Let's say we want to make sure that this is positive.
In num bigger than 0.
Put a per failure. Failure.
Yeah.
You're a failure.
And it works. Do we have format strings in here? Like, can I do this? Looks like I
I'm
can.
not sure.
So is this like essentially? Wait,
What is the
why
error
is
here?
what the hell is
The
in?
declaration expected.
Yes, because yes. Um. Yeah, because
What?
you forgot to do.
But it doesn't require it.
True, but that's the expression form. Oh, you're just using expression for.
Uh,
I mean, let's try it in the do
okay, so
form in.
syntax wise, the whole
Uh,
in and then
ta-
condition, is that similar to like an if else deal? Like, what's up with this?
no.
Like, what?
Do I
So
need a semicolon at the end? Is that the
you
problem?
need to remove the outer semicolons.
Okay.
Maybe the compiler can tell me something about it.
Do you still need
No, I don't want
that error with that if you or the failure?
to. Terminate. Okay,
Yeah. Put in. I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. It's you. What you were doing wrong there was you had the outer curly braces.
Outer curly braces.
Like in is outside the function body, right? In the block statement form.
Oh. Okay, so in the block statement form, you say, I put this in curly braces.
No, you had it correctly.
This.
Yes.
Okay.
Then this is literally what's written here.
Yeah. What does it say?
Oh, it's just forgot to accept it. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let's call it. Let's say do thing of 42, and then do thing of minus 69. Let's see what consequences it has. So it said it were
It works
that's
42.
yeah. Probably need a space here. And
So,
then it says core
whoa.
exception assert error failure. There we go. Nice. So that's
Love it.
precondition.
And you have post as well.
And I have post, which says that's or rather out.
So I'm kind of going. So with that string, that big thing that he was doing earlier with what if you had more than one argument you were looking to pass into that string, but just like it works, then say the open and close curly braces,
So
some other
you can have as
string.
many. You can have as many like ins as you need to, right?
Okay. So how does it know where to stick them? Because it seems like right there, it's just sticking it at the end. It didn't actually replace the curly braces
Yeah, probably.
with the num.
Yeah, probably. I'm looking at I just googled it, and apparently it's
Oh, it's
format. So if I say
okay.
right line form,
What?
my number
So
is
that's more like
the
Java's.
percent I presumably.
Yeah, so that looks more like the Java's string formatter.
Probably need an import.
You can see what I was talking about in action.
There we go. I forgot the. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And it needs to be
Num.
num.
Does it need the array? Because it looked like the array part was only like I had like the percent
Okay, okay, okay,
brackets.
okay. Don't stop crashing here. I need to see whether it works. Okay, it still doesn't. Incorrect format specifier.
Yeah, do you get rid of the
Uh,
square brackets, isn't it?
no,
Okay.
apparently the other one integer. Oh, it should be
Integer.
dollar.
No.
Go back to your example. No, the
No.
example code
No,
that you
wait,
had. Go back to the example code you had. It was somewhere on that
where
page.
I was it? Probably the bottom. Oh,
Here.
there we go.
Here we go.
Oh, it's
So,
percent %D.
mm,
D probably for decimal. Yeah, okay.
yeah, there you go. That's much
Nice.
better.
And now if you put back the thing, you'll get the error as well.
Yeah, so let's do that. Let's go here, 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 and there we go. Nice. I got the contract
Nice.
position there. Nice.
Nice. Nice. Okay.
So if we go back there was a good example about more contract-based programming.
Let's go back.
You know, and where you were in the
Yeah, probably. There we go.
if you go down,
Yeah, so it's in, out, and then do.
yes, right. But if you look at that example, you can see how to use it, right? In the in thing, they make their checks on A and B. In the out, they check their return value, and then in the do is where they actually do the computation.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting.
this was one of these key ideas, right? That's what I was talking about at the very start, right? One of these very key ideas, right, was this idea of contract-based programming. That you could have these condition blocks to ensure the validity of the arguments that someone passes you and the return value, and not being a separate from your main logic. No need for early return in this way of programming.
No.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, it looks great. I'm wondering now. Part of me is wondering because I have the latest C++ here, so part of me is really wondering about contracts in C++, but maybe that will have to wait for another time. Let's stick to D for now.
Also, if you go down, you see them using D with inheritance. Slightly further.
Oh, there we go.
Right. So here they're using D with they're using in and out. Right now they're doing in and out inheritance. Yes.
I see.
Right, because if you look very closely, I'll just point out to our audience here. If you look at F, the F implementation, you will see that it has an in condition in the declaration that
Yeah.
when I is equal to 5, this, what does it do? Returns 5. It's a contract. Right?
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'm not asking you, I'm asking Glub and Stream.
Sorry, I was replying to my DMs.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So sorry. Can you run that by me one more time? I'm really sorry.
So here you see that contract-based programming take it to another level, right? So in here, right,
So
you can see that F has a contract that when I is equal to 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I is equal to 5, we expect a return value of 5, right? And you can see that in their override, with inheritance, they were able to change the contract in the new function, right? They're able to make F in this class C have accept any I, right? Whereas in B, it only accepts the number 5, right?
Okay.
So in other words, f cannot be called unless I equals 5 if the type is B.
Okay.
But it can call with anything in C, and this is the power of contract-based programming. You explicitly explain to your user
Ooh.
what is allowed and when they can use a function or a method and when they can't.
So can you explain to me, just because I have a little confusion on what it is that the expressions are that we're using here? Because like in and um in and do, I'm used to Java with if, else, and like, while do. So like, what is in, out, do? Like, what?
The in is about conditions that run before the function body. And out is for conditions that run outside of the function body. Right? So in is first in happens, then do happens, and then out happens. And it's out on a thing, on R here, right? R is presumably a return value, right? It's the
Okay.
return value.
Yeah.
But the reason we have R and passed in parentheses to out is maybe because maybe my thing has side effects, right? And maybe I want to put a condition on those side effects, the attributes that might have changed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is really cool because, like, one of the ways this impacts code, right, is it makes it self-documenting. So instead of writing like a big doc string and like, please don't use this, you will cause a terrible undefined behavior if blah blah blah, you can just make it crash. And then, I assume in optimized builds, that turns
Yeah,
into something along the lines
it's
of
really
assume.
useful it's really useful for the compiler to understand what the contracts are, because in other languages, this is something the compiler works to guess. In D,
Yeah.
these are not guessed. The onus is on the programmer to help the compiler understand what the contracts are. And this can allow a working plugin for IntelliJ or a working LSP to make much more sophisticated data flow assertions, right? Data flow
Yeah. If
analysis.
it works.
Yeah, if it works, right? So it's basically, no, I know, but explaining to the viewers, right? Because
Yeah.
I say explicitly
Yeah.
this is the allowed range for this variable, I can get smacked by a warning that says, buddy, your number must be between 1 and 100. Your value is higher than 100. This will crash. This is not allowed. The user, it's like you would normally put that in a doc string, right, in Java, right? This is not like a doc string because this is explicit. It's like, this is the rule of using this function. And a good LSP or a good engine intelligent can do, you violated this rule here.
Now,
You
I
are going to get an exception.
I have a question about one more thing there that's on the screen, where in the parameters of the statement there, there's a
There's a
ref.
ref.
Yeah, ref.
Yeah,
Is is
reference.
is that a similar thing to C++ where you like put an asterisk next to one of your parameters and you're asking for a reference
It's
to
the
that?
ampersand. It's the
Oh,
ampersand.
ampersand. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
still I'm still
reference.
I'm still relatively new to C++. I'm still getting my footing in there. So
Yeah. And by the way,
I'm a
this is
Java
ref,
guy. I'm a Java guy.
and
We don't have refs.
for all you C sharpers, references are
Yeah.
also ref in C sharp.
Yeah.
So what is a reference? I should probably say that. A reference is a pointer that has a few interesting properties. One, it has value semantics. What does that mean? I see. Okay, he's writing C sharp there to show you. So what does that mean, value semantics? That means even though it is a pointer, the syntax is that of like if I had the value in my hand. So even though I don't have the value, the syntax and the features I use are like if the value was right here, even though it's actually in a faraway place. And the second most important thing is the compiler will ensure that a references does not contain null. Now there are ways to get around that, but in general, a reference means this value cannot contain null, and the compiler will make checks to enforce this. So unlike Java, you can't have a null pointer exception normally because
Yeah,
a
so
reference cannot be null.
so Java boy, do this without a heap allocation. LOL, LMAO.
Okay, so here you see him writing some C#, which demonstrates reference being used. And what you see is because that int was passed as a reference, we actually passed a pointer to the original A, right? So just by incrementing A, we modified A back into the original function.
Right, so Mike, the way you can think about this in Java terms is right, integer here the primitive. So by default, it would have been copied into increment, and then I would have incremented the copy and would have done checks for the caller. So if I want to pass a reference to my integer so that the integer outside of the function gets incremented, in Java I would actually have to use the integer wrapper class because in Java classes have reference semantics. But that integer reference class requires a heap allocation, which is slow. Here I can actually instruct C# to use actual pointers behind the scenes where it does no allocation, it just passes the address and all is fine and good.
Okay.
Yep, references are cool, and also they're not null. How convenient.
Yeah.
There's a part of me
And
that
C# enforces that too.
there's
Yes.
a part of me that wishes that we had that in Java for some cases. It would make life a lot easier.
There's also other things that in C# that they take this concept further with in and out references, but that is
That's not the same in and out as this thing.
yeah, it's outside the scope. It's not the same in and out. It's a different in and out. It's for more sophisticated references, but that's outside the scope of this thing. Maybe we'll fuck around with C# once. I'll show you the language.
There we go. I'm okay with
Maybe.
that.
It's a really nice language. Okay. Yeah, so my C++ still isn't doing contracts, unfortunately. The linker does not find handle contract violation. I don't know if there is any... I need def contracts, maybe. I'm just really wondering.
So fun facts, some people call this also
Oh, it does!
Some people also on the internet will call this negative space programming.
Negative space
sometimes.
programming.
Yeah, negative space programming. It's just the idea that there's these checks ahead of time, right? You can see violated the contract, right? Because there's these
C++, boy! Sorry.
because there are these contracts. Here you can see that pre-num greater than 0. That's the equivalent of the in num greater than 0 in D, right? Except yeah, pointed out again. Had this figured out 20 years before C++. But hey, I give credit where credit's due, right?
Yeah. Clank doesn't even implement contracts yet, so.
So yeah. I'll send that to the GCC contributor I'm very friends with. he's whenever I'm with him, he's always ranting about and making fun of Clank. So this is
Yeah.
Anyway. So I just have a contracts. Negative space programming. So basically, negative space programming is the idea that because I've done this now in the body, you know how kind of you're instructed in Java to do or C# or most languages, right? Early returns, right? So you don't have to think about the value in the happy you get rid of the bad paths early, right? So you can focus on the happy path, right?
Yeah, I've
But with
learned.
negative space
I've
with
learned.
negative space programming, you've just dealt with all the conditions up front, so you're just in the happy path full stop. You don't have to deal with anything in the unhappy path. And it clears your mind, so to speak, to focus just on that, and the reader to just focus on the happy path.
Okay. While we're talking about happy paths, sorry to derail this. Prof, what is up with your giant indentations?
I don't know. It's the default Vim. Don't mind me.
colon, set, shift width, 4
Thing
equals
equals
4.
4. It's not
Is
that.
that-
I think I want tab stop. There you
I was gonna say because that shit looks like
I
it
use
Get
tab.
out, Vim the nerd.
Use tab.
Yeah.
Sorry, the giant space was just bothering me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, actually, there's a project that uses those giant specific spaces as a deliberate measure.
No way. No
the,
fucking way.
the Linux kernel does. So, and the reason that the Linux kernel does is because we all know that we should not do insane nesting, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's why that giant space
So,
bothered me.
yeah, exactly. So the kernel, because Linux kernel has the rule of eight space of indentation to really make it to discourage you psychologically from wanting to indent code
Yeah.
so much.
Mm.
And also, then the kernel devs are always so dramatic. They say, like, if you need more than 3 levels of indent, you're already a lost cause anyway.
Yeah. The worst thing is I agree with them. We shouldn't indent too much. So.
Yeah, no,
No,
I
I agree,
fully
right?
agree.
I just find it they always have the most dramatic ways of saying it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Linus Torvald deciding who should have been conceived or not, and so on. I'm very fascinated that Rust Sheeple decided that's their favorite project. But anyway,
Sheeple.
that's my rant aside.
Well,
Alright, so that's
I can bring you on someone who's a fellow systems guy of mine who does a lot of work with me. He's a really good compiler dev, and he is known for his rants, but they're funny. He can like monologue and rant about any topic he wants.
Yes, reach out to him. I would love to.
Like sometimes he like you have someone sometimes like we're friendly in a server right together, and then one of our friends is like, "Oh, okay, did I hurt you? Did I do something to you?" Because he has that low level systems experience that he's able to like completely tear apart something.
yeah. Oh, by the way, isn't this a cool thing about
Yeah, uniform function complex. Yes.
Yeah. Let's show that off. Print, let's say void print a number in A, and then we're just gonna use the right function with the format function. With this is my number %d with
This is going to confuse
A.
the Java programmers here by a lot. I know it is.
Okay, so watch this. 69.print number.
Oh, buddy, that reminds me of Kotlin. When I could
That's
do
another stream we need to do.
It's a Kotlin stream.
I wanna,
agree.
yeah, Kotlin.
I agree. I would love to. Like, I know it a bit, but not enough to teach it.
Yeah, I would like to try Ktor and Kotlin multi-platform.
Fuck yes, I would love to get a buddy of mine on who uses multi-platform.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with Kotlin multi-platform.
I also do. Just a tiny aside. The first time I tried the Kotlin multi-platform, I got the IntelliJ template for Kotlin multi-platform. I just clicked run on the template, and it crashed my entire system. So it killed my desktop environment and sent me to a TTY. So I have no idea why I did that. Ever since then, I didn't try it again.
Can I really complain though? One of the reasons I dislike Kotlin multi-platform is because it forced me to go on this journey with Swift by myself to kind of fix things up. No, I'm serious. No, because essentially, right? I was talking about this in the Java server. Like, I'm not gonna say it's here, but like the whole journey as to why I'm doing the Swift thing and like the whole JetBrains story about what happened there. But one of the reasons JetBrains killed AppCode was because they felt like Swift was competing with Kotlin multi-platform.
Mm.
Wait, so what did the JetBrains kill? I didn't quite understand.
Okay, synopsis version. Um, So I'll just give the we have Java Renamer, right? That's the original JetBrains thing, right? That becomes later becomes IntelliJ quite early on. I think 2001, 2000, right?
Mm-hmm.
2002. 2001. I think Java Renamer. I don't know when Java Renamer became IntelliJ. I think 2002 around 2000, right? 2004 is ReSharper. So for context, I'm also not going to go into the details. If you have questions, chat, feel free to ask them. But I'm just going to go fly past. So C# required Visual Studio at the time. C# was still in its old dirty pants socks. It was in its old school monopolistic days. You had to use Visual Studio to work with C#, and because of the similarities, especially between earlier versions of C# and Java, JetBrains wanted to really deploy their Java expertise to the C# world. That ended up taking the form of ReSharper. ReSharper is a giant, essentially IDE running as a host plugin to Visual Studio. Right, you can see it. Yeah, you go to that. Yeah, that's more. Yeah, Visual Studio is the official, the old school one. There's actually a cool website where they show you the history of ReSharper. But so that was the thing they did. That's one of the oldest JetBrains things. It's been around since 2004, and it's essentially a JetBrains IDE in running as a plugin to one of the other largest IDEs in the world, right? So, fast forward in 2008, JetBrains works to make RubyMine. So they work to make the first IDE based off of IntelliJ that is not just standard IntelliJ. So the first fork of IntelliJ called RubyMine that he doesn't have installed because why would he? We could do a fuck around with Ruby at some point.
Just out of
uh,
curiosity, how many languages
yeah.
do you know comfortably enough that we can bring you on to stream to?
A lot.
The dude is like,
So
yes.
Too many.
This guy's like, I need a podcast to myself or a fucking playlist to myself.
But this is convenient, right? For you like to faff around with languages, just bring me on. I'll be your guy.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so someone
I
is
don't want to waste disk space on RubyMine for real
yeah.
though.
I mean,
That
get the
is a
plugin
question.
in IntelliJ if you want to use it. Yeah, I
Mo,
saw the question.
I was gonna say
It's more technical.
Mo is in our actual Discord chat asking a question. For those of you in live chat that have no idea where that just came from.
Yeah, Mo asked about trying out Fedora with I love Fedora with KDE. Well, going on the
Interesting.
tangent, I'll come back to what I was saying. So, I'm one of those guys. As much I don't like configuration. I don't like configuring my system. I am someone who wants to get on with my work. I am someone who doesn't want. By the way, I have almost the same system, just GPU difference besides it's basically the same system. With a bit less RAM as well. But no, a very close system. Honestly, very, very close system.
Yeah.
Same
Solding would
CPU.
hate me.
So lol. So what I was gonna say is what I like about what's important to me in a distro is that it doesn't get in my way. That it doesn't require maintenance. And I really like Fedora because it's not like Debian or Ubuntu where I'm so far behind on new stuff. But it's also just stable. It just works. It just gets out of my way. The least amount of maintenance I have to do on my distro, the more I'm a happy man. I don't know about the other people.
I don't know. So I tried installing KDE on Fedora, and it worked for me for a while. And then ever since the Fedora 42 to 43 update, so not the latest one, one previous, KDE completely broke for me. And now whenever I try to launch KDE, it just freezes my system completely. So I have to unplug it and turn it back on for it to work. So GNOME works obviously, but now ever since the Fedora 44 update, I'm getting like a bunch of notifications spammed at me, like a bunch of failed unit detected, where I have no idea what these units are doing, but apparently there's a bunch of failures on my system. Shrug. So
Rip.
I'm
Sit.
let's say meditating on reinstalling it, but or going down the rabbit hole and chasing those phantom errors which mean nothing and do nothing. So no idea, but I mean it works. So
Oh, we
I
love
think the
rabbit
most
holes.
important part about Fedora to me is that the package manager is extremely robust. So I've never had package corruption like in a really long time. Whereas on Ubuntu, if you even tweak a little bit what you're trying to do, the APT just poops itself. And
Yeah. It just I like how stable Fedora works. I like how it just works so much of the time, and I don't have to maintain the distro, and that's like so good because
Mm.
I don't want to tweak my distro. I'm not a ricer. I'm not someone who configures it much. I just use a distro, so ironically it gets out of my way, so I can get
yeah.
to my work.
Understandable. I mean, I haven't configured this what you see right now. I haven't tweaked it since what, like Fedora 41. Now we're in
Why I'm one of
44.
those people, those dirty plebs who when they want their NeoVim configured, they use a distro for it because I'm not interested in spending time configuring it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasted my time on configuring this. This is another stream I need to get Mike to do to get him into Vim, but some other time.
This man's been pushing me to
The
get
reason I
fucking
had to
this.
rewrite my config is because
Here's a fun
1.12.
here's a fun fact for people. In my school, the only things you could use in any exam session were Vim and Emacs. And
Based.
so that's why I have quite a bit of experience with both.
Mm.
I didn't figure it out.
No NeoVim, by the way, and also standard configured Vim in an actual exam. In non-exam, you could have people had their configs.
Hmm.
I like IDs. They don't hate IDs. It's more like it's more of a teaching mentality of forcing someone to understand their toolchain.
Eleva
Wait.
uses pen and paper.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
100%. Give me the zeros and ones for the binary. That's a gig wide. I'll wait for you on the other side of the mountain. Okay. So
Diabolical.
I used to have a
Compiler, we
when I
translate to machine code
it's almost like
ourselves.
it's
when I
almost like the compiler editor is like, all right, buddy, if you don't
when
want my work,
when I
you can
used
do
to
it by
work
hand.
when I used to work at the hospital, my senior there, it was him and I would pass notes back and forth, like back in the day when you'd like pass a note in class, but it'd be like this folded up piece of paper, so it was like hidden and nobody read it. Yeah, him and I would pass little binary messages back and forth, so that if anyone opened up the note, all they saw were ones and zeros. I'd spend like 10, 15 minutes trying to decrypt this fucking code that more or less just said coffee question mark. And
Wow.
and like I'd send him some shit that I'd spend like fucking 20 minutes again trying to write out, and then he'd spend 5 minutes decrypt it, fucking send me something back, and I'm like, bro, you're a fucking computer.
Yeah, I will say something to you in DMs later. I'm not gonna say on stream because I would not. It's not fair to someone if I say it on stream. It's not at someone's expense either. It's more that
Okay, enough said.
Glave will understand.
Enough
Glave
said.
will understand better when I tell him DMs. Um, so just finishing up about the Swift journey. So Remind came out in 2008. But actually, what people don't realize, that don't know a lot, if you're especially a newer IntelliJ user, is one of the oldest IDs JetBrains made was AppCode. So AppCode was geared towards the at the time OS 10 developers. OS 10, by the way, the old school name for macOS. His OS 10
OS
came after
OS
OS
X.
9 at the yeah, exactly, at the beginning of 2000, at the year 2000, right? The transition from OS 9 to OS 10.
The Millennial OS.
Uh, and so they made an IDE that was really geared towards people who develop for the Apple platforms. So of course, actually you can look at the last. I think it was like the pod when I was on the podcast. We explored Objective C. That was JetBrains' Objective C engine, IDE, which you can see why people would like an IDE for that. I mean, crazy stuff, that language. Crazy syntax, Objective C. So people had that, and Swift came around 2014, 2015. Technically was announced around, June 2014, came out around the end of the year, right? Fall 2014, 2015. And of course, IntelliJ followed suit pretty quickly with Swift support with an app code. Now, the reason this is important to the story is because C and C++ support for old school C line, I'm saying old school very importantly, came from app code. Because Objective C and Swift also are very tied to C and C++. They're very, very tied to those languages. So it was more what happened is people who did Objective C kept asking for better support from JetBrains on C and C++, right? And they provided that to the Objective C users. By the way, AppCode was exclusive to macOS. You could
Yes, I
not
remember
download it
that.
for Windows.
I
Yeah,
remember
and could
that.
not download it for Linux. And um the so what would become Sea Lion was originally the C and C++ support engines built into AppCode. Around 2016, Sea Lion was started really 2015, worked out in 2016. Um, and it was cool also because it was cross-platform, right? Prior to that, if you wanted to do C and C++ within JetBrains, you had to be an app code, which was exclusive to macOS. So the thing that really, but in 2012, going back to ReSharper, 2012 ReSharper C++ started, which is an entire different code base. Remember, ReSharper is an entire different framework and way. It's like it's made by the same people, but it's like a build from the ground up version of their expertise in C Sharp, not in Java. So originally for Visual Studio, and so because Visual Studio primarily addresses C Sharp and C++ audiences, at that time they decided to the ReSharper team decided to also start to work on ReSharper C++. But if you realize, we have now two competing engines for C++ inside of JetBrains. We have a traditional IntelliJ engine built through the lineage of AppCoded and C-Line, classic, and there's the ReSharper engine built with C Sharp, built with the ReSharper engines. So what happened is the IntelliJ C and C++ engine was not up to par. It really struggled. They tried really hard to make it work. C++ is a beast of a language. It's really, really, really hard to make a front end for C++ specifically. Really, really, really hard. In my industry, it's a badge of honor if you can do that because it's so hard. So they really struggled and there were so many problems with it. And so what they decided first was to use ClangD, which is the one made by the Clang people. So to use an LSP essentially to try to help out the classic engine, and then at one point you had essentially free engines that were being maintained by the C Lion team. Well, two that were maintained by C Lion team and did a separate ReSharper C++ team. So this was insanity, right? And that's where we come to this story, because AppCode was killed partly because there was not that many users, although I think there were more than they said there were, because I've seen much more talks than for any other language done by people at the time, with just PowerPoints at conventions of people saying, dude, AppCode is amazing for iOS dev, use AppCode, right? Or macOS, or like anything Apple related, right? And that, and also but here's where it is. Kotlin multi-platform was really trying to pick up. In fact, at the time, if you recall, Kotlin multi-platform used a lot more Swift at the time for the iOS and the macOS versions for the UI, right? So actually, it used to be that if you wanted to do Kotlin multi-platform, you did it with an app code. You would get the bundled with the plugin. I don't remember if it was actually bundled, but there was the plugin was with an app code plugin, right? Because the idea is, well, there's the Swift engine and there's the Java engine and the Kotlin engine is the same IDE, right? The problem was, of course, Swift is a direct competitor to Kotlin, the closest of the direct competitors, right? And so this logistical nightmare of having free engines, two of which are really struggling, and it's really expensive to maintain one C++ engine. It's super complicated, let alone free. And Kotlin multi-platform growing, and the desire to not make the Swift people happy. And not as big of a user base led to AppCode's demise, and also, by the way, the Swift plugin demise, because what they decided to do early on in 2015 when they forked out CLine was give access to people who were on Linux and Windows who wanted to use Swift within CLine. So there was a plugin. Those were canceled. They were stopped at the same time. They were the same engine. The problem is Swift. So if you now CLine uses ReSharper, right? The old school engines, which really struggle. The ReSharper engine really works really well. Full credit to Igor and Alexander and all those guys, by the way. Very hard to do. It was really hard to so what they ended up doing is Swift and Objective C got left behind on the old school platform, and because there were never ReSharper version, it kind of never happened. And what I've been doing for the past years, trying to fill in that gap by working on making Swift and Objective C sing not within IntelliJ, but within ReSharper. So playing kind of essentially playing catch up, right? Playing catch up. C++ has been on ReSharper for a while, right? So kind of playing catch up, and also Objective C programmers are really, I've seen a lot of support from this because there's so many people that are like forced to use an older build of CLine. Because or forced to switch CLine into CLine Classic, which you can still do, but that's not going to stay there for long, right? So we're essentially, I'm trying to fix the problem. That was a very long story, but hey, if you guys are a Java crowd, so I think you like JetBrains stories.
Personally, I'm in bed with JetBrains family, so I love JetBrains stories. Which, while we're on the topic of JetBrains stories and mentioning Sea Lion, Prof, Josh helped me fix our Sea Lion issue.
Alright, nice.
It was
where
not
this,
CLine, by the way. It was his tool
yeah,
chain.
it was a tool chain.
Yeah, which we were telling him to switch the toolchain to native toolchain because C-Lion's mingle GW is horrible.
You kept telling me to
Anyway.
use the Visual Studio shit,
Yeah, because that just works out of the box.
but it still didn't let me run the
Except he
exe
hadn't
when I
switched
was
to
all
it.
done.
He hadn't switched to asking CLine to use the VS1. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
But now I can make executables that run and not throw a conniption fit. We had to edit them.
Yeah.
We had to edit the CMake a little bit too. That was a fun journey.
I have to also say about the one last thing I should really make clear.
No,
JetBrains in
you
their
know, you
official.
talk too much.
What?
I'm just fucking with you.
Anyway, I just because I don't want it to be misconstrued. JetBrains never officially said that the logistical reason was the reason. I think the main reason, one of the main reasons they did what they did,
Hmm.
but their actions and how they've been supportive of me bringing it to ReSharper. They've never officially said it, but I think it makes too much sense.
Man,
At the time, it didn't make sense because the switch for killing the old school C++ engine came around. Actually, no, it was about the same time. It came a few months later. So, but I'm pretty sure it was part of the plan.
your
So
knowledge and
yeah.
your connections yet just continue to impress me. So I see you're trying to remake the higher lower
Yeah.
game in D. Got to get that higher lower D.
Yeah.
Someone syntax for case this is weird. Going back to D, folks.
I walked away to get a little C. I gotta get that coffee.
Yeah, let me. I forgot a bunch of semicolons. Okay, that's probably why it's yelling.
No, we
yelling at me.
did D. We did C. Why don't we do B next time?
Oh no!
If you're gonna tell me there's an actual programming language named B,
What do you think where B came from? It came from B4C. Obviously.
No, so where did you think C came from?
Yeah.
the alphabet. Honestly, I
C
didn't
came
think
from
that
A.
too hard.
C came from B, and B came from A. Obviously.
No, so actually C actually came from B and B came
Yeah.
from BCL.
Yeah.
The B programming language is the precursor to C made by the same people. And it was at some point really used because it's even more lower level, if you could believe it, and simple than C.
Wait, B is not lower level than C. B was interpreted.
No, because there be compilers out there. But the key thing about B, right, is that unlike in C where you have multiple size data types, in B
Yeah, there's only one.
you just have one. You have the word type.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn.
There's no need to specify return values and argument types when there's only one type in the entire language.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah, Linux would kill me for this amount of indents. Do I care about it? No.
Hey, Prof. How about we install some cognitive complexity?
Yeah. Um.
I like cognitive complexity.
Yeah. Wait.
You know how you could
Oh no,
confuse
sorry.
Java
Wait.
people by doing
okay.
4 semicolon semicolon?
Yeah, I was wondering if that was a thing rather than.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that was a thing in Java. You can
I
just
should.
4 and 2 semicolons.
Number equals uniform from 1 to 101. So in number generate next.
You might want to address your tab stop to 4, please.
Yeah, tab equals 4. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And say number.
So much
That's.
sweat on the eyes. You have no idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. What did they
Hey.
even do wrong here? Oh yeah.
Have you ever done some Go?
Yeah, I did a lot of Go because I don't need the parentheses. Nice.
I mean, Gladbeck,
Uh,
did you ever do a lot of some Go?
No, I haven't.
You know what? Maybe we should do that one time.
Yeah, we should do Go.
There are a
What
lot of
is
languages.
it?
There
Why is
are
it
a
complaining?
lot
What
of
am I?
podcasts out there.
What did I do wrong here? Probably because this is not in the class, or oh no, because my main is in the class. Oops, I have mismatched parens. This should be this is the class. Game, what is wrong with you? Switch? Can I not switch on an enum?
Where are you getting an error at? Oh, the underscore. Okay.
Oh, without a default. But I don't. Why do I need a default here?
Does just
Because
as
it
a
can be any int.
yeah, because you're taking a character in and passing that in. You're not actually verifying anything. So
Default
they're
assert
very
0. Okay. Default assert false.
wait. Why is
Assert false.
your thing assert
Default is not
false?
in the switch statement. My God.
Okay. There we go.
Because I used a little bit of contracts here, and I know that the
Okay.
direction is either this or that.
Well, you know it's not quit. Because
Yeah.
even in your other thing, you weren't checking previously if there's anything other than H or. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you did because it was. I guess you did.
I should probably do it like this to just keep the logic more self-contained. There we go. This is also up. It should also be static. No, wait. What? Please, Vim. Thank you. That's all clean. Generate next number. Say number. I want. Generate next number. E direction. Guess equals. Did I not get direction? And then I want to say judgment on the guess, current number, and previous number. Maybe that kind of feels backwards, to be honest. I should probably start with previous, do next, and then there we go, a little bit of take judgment. Okay, let's try this.
Exited
What
with
did I do?
current line.
Insertion failure at
Line 37. Or line 41.
41. Oh, obvious. Oh, this is.
Oh, it's because you have you have the ability to be 101.
No, it's because I put it both smaller and greater than 100 at the same time. It's a typo. Hey, it works. Hey, nice.
Yeah.
There we go. A little bit
Hell
of
yeah.
D for the people.
Hell yeah. That is our higher or lower application that has now been written in Java C, or sorry, Java C++, and now D.
Yep.
I guess we're gonna do the same thing in a few more languages too. Whoop.
But there we go. We did, and actually, I used a little bit of contracts here, as you can see. So I even use the out contract, as you can see. Kind of nice, no?
I like it.
Well, yeah, I use a little bit of classes,
So what
a
else
little
can
bit of exception handling for
You know what
exiting.
you should do?
so what else
Huh?
can we do with D?
Well, I mean, it's a systems language. You can do anything with it. Anything you desire.
I assume that the uniform function call syntax makes it hard for the LSP to give auto suggestions because technically anything which has the type as a parameter is a valid autocomplete.
Hmm.
But yeah,
No,
How does
no,
this?
because you should be able to resolve that.
I don't
How
know.
do?
I mean, the LSP here is technically coloring this modestly correctly, but I guess I'm getting no autocomplete. It's just a bare bones experience. Thankfully, Vim has all the brute force features I need to get this done, but
If
like
you
all
were
the
to,
autocomplete you were seeing here, by the way, is just word autocomplete. So like it's just my Vim finding the nearest matching word.
if you were to build like a network application, like how does this handle concurrency or like asynchronous functions?
You'd have to look
I
that up.
don't know.
I'm not sure.
I mean, let's see. There's a whole multi-threading uh, paragraph in their tour.dlang.org. Then we have thread. Okay, so globals in D are statics. In D are static to the thread, not to. Okay, message passing.
You can receive.
D allows you to use message passing, take advantage of multiple core threads, communicate with messages, which are arbitrary varies to distribute work and synchronize themselves. They don't share data by design, which avoids the common problems of multi-thread. Okay, so no shared data, just messages.
Mm.
Context, a function is a first parent and additional parent. So, okay, so then we have this receive keyword. Oh my god, how many keywords does Dlang have? Dlang keywords. Oh my god!
Oh,
Not
wow.
that much. Not that many, honestly. Quite a few, but not an insane amount.
Okay, how many? 130. Oh, wait, so I have empty lines.
I was gonna say get rid of some of those white spaces.
Alright. 116. That's, I think, more than C++.
Oh, jeez.
Although most of these are just. Okay, let's do new. Yeah, it's 102 in C++. Oh, sorry, I have empty spaces again.
I also have empty spaces in the D1 still.
Yeah, you
Do
still
I?
have a
Oh.
few in D1 too. If you scroll way up.
116?
Oh, there is one, another
Oh, I
one.
have one.
Oh,
Oh my god. Okay, 109 versus 98. That's more than C++. Wow.
yeah. People have been commenting on that. That YouTube, my voice sounds quieter than it does in Discord voice chats, and I don't
I
know
don't know, you
why.
maybe need to rebalance.
I don't
You
know
need
if
some more
it's.
balance in your life.
I'm assuming it's OBS because, like, I don't know, OBS just. I'm just guessing that it. Is there any way I can boost this? Like.
I didn't think that's one again.
Hello, hello. Chat.
Properties. Yeah, it was SRI. I'm gonna butcher your name, where he's saying that my voice is considerably is quieter compared to, say, Josh, for example. I'm trying to toy with it. Bear with me. What is this? That's
What else should we do in D, or is this enough?
I think you kind of toured the most important parts of D, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess let's try to do a little bit
I
of
think
message passing and.
you didn't do unsafe in D,
Hmm.
but it's pretty similar.
Yeah, I mean, unsafe in D is just C++.
Yeah.
Guys,
Well,
someday we need to do a C sharp with Mike and then force him into unsafe C sharp. Because that, in my opinion,
I will
is
take
really
the
beautiful.
you're gonna really take me outside of my bubble and
I
make me
do a lot of C
unsafe.
sharp myself too. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually know C sharp very well.
I did a little
I
adjustment.
mean, as
Let
well
me
as I
know.
think I can.
I did a little adjustment, guys, on the stream. If you could let me know how my voice sounds now, that'd be great. I did a little tweaking
Sounds good.
to make it hopefully sound better.
Okay, your stream sounds better, at least to me. I don't know.
Okay, perfect.
I just checked your stream. Okay. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Perfect. I had to boost the dBs, the decibels by 10.
Nice.
Just crank that shit up to number 10.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of threading, and then we'll call it. I propose. Let's just get. Do I want to keep the high? Yeah, let's keep the high and lower game. It's so iconic.
Yeah, why not? Keep it, throw it on your thing, throw it on a GitHub, and we'll throw it up on we'll list it with the stream as a comment later on.
Let's start with the threading. So it's message pen. Okay, so I want a basically thread routine. Avoid the thread. Okay, so let's pop that open.
Ooh, here's an idea. Here's an idea because I'm curious. Could we? This might be a far fetch. Could we reach out to JSON placeholder and just like grab, like I think they have a to-do list, where it's just a bunch of to-dos at the endpoint of slash to-dos, and it comes back with like 200 to-dos. If you scroll down and on that home page, originally there's a bunch of endpoints that they list that you can get.
Either so.
Well, that's again, if you scroll back to the home page, just hit back, yeah, and then go down a little bit. There's to-dos.
Oh, there you go. To do the one. Okay. Okay. Dlang.
So I'm wondering if you could just make just a little HTTP GET request out and.
I don't know if it's in the standard library because, as you saw, not using the standard library makes my LSP panic.
I can think of a few standards that people don't use that make my OCD twitch.
Apparently, we do. Okay, so I'm looking at this. So apparently, D has studnet crawl HTTP, and can I do like a get? Perform an HTTP request. Okay. Oh, okay. So wait. So okay, let me just try that. So if we say import to the dot, what was it? Net dot curl dot http.
HTTP.
Unable to read much. Okay, probably, but it's a net dot curl maybe. There we go. So it wants HTTP client. Do I just do this? Yeah, I understand.
Variable
It's
client
what
is
it
never.
is. None of the overloads op call are available. Maybe this?
I think there's arguments you have to pass to.
Oh, I have a. Do I have like a this?
Oh, you need to pass a link in, a URL.
Okay, so perfect. So I wanna pass in this link. And please make it a string.
And that'll get you the one single to do, which should be
Maybe I
good
should do
enough.
auto here.
Well, that's what the website said. It's auto HTTP equals HTTP with a thing.
Oh, it's not a class. It's a struct. Okay, sorry. Is this? Yeah, unfortunate. It's a struct. Okay. Okay, so let's. So unfortunately, I don't have autocomplete here. So let's figure out how this works.
Look at the example, potentially.
Yeah, go back to the example there. So
Hey, Shao, we need to put a method. So client
HTTP
method
equals HTTP method guess.
You wanna get?
Oh, this is if you're
Oh, I didn't
providing.
need to even put the URL.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
This is if you
I
gave
put
it.
nicely.
Yeah. Okay.
Bam.
Nice. And then on receive.
TP.onReceive. I need to pass it a function which gets a byte array data. So let's say receive handler. Let's put it void the byte unsigned byte array data. And I want to. Can I write ln byte? Write ln data? Oh, yeah, semicolon. In semicolon, you should. There we go. On receive equals receiver handler. I don't think it's client.
Okay, and then
Maybe I need to actually get the function.
oh,
You
because
didn't
it
take the
has
you didn't
you.
take the address.
Still doesn't like it.
It doesn't probably just wants a lambda. Just use a lambda.
Yeah.
Can I do this something like you byte data?
You byte array.
Hands
You
as an
byte
array.
array. And then return data dot.
Wait,
Well,
can I just give
well,
me a second? Why not read the reference?
If you look down
Hang
lower,
on.
if you look down lower in that code example, there's the brackets for the
It
like
needs to
afterward.
return along. My bad. My bad. The only problem is it's not returning the right thing.
No, data length.
Data dot length.
Oh.
Return it.
Return data dot length. Yeah.
Alright, and now I don't think I need the address here. Oh, I do need the address. The flying fuck?
You see down bottom how it has the brackets where it's writing out the shit that gets printed back. Like is yeah, just stick
And
the
just
lamp.
copy that
Just
over, but
stick.
now I wanna also do something else in this. It's still not. Oh, no, it is. Wait, did I just not save?
No, it just really
Okay.
does not like that.
It really does not like that. Okay. Ah. Yeah, I wonder if I could add something in here like write ln data.
Well, doesn't that get written out at the bottom anyway, or am I just misunderstanding
But
that
this is just
structure?
progress. It's just saying progress.
Oh, okay, so that's just
Okay.
updating the
And
progress.
then we want the client to
Oh, okay.
perform, and every time I hear perform, I get the COBOL flashbacks.
That would be a fun stream, is to write something
No,
in
I
COBOL.
wouldn't.
No?
Interesting.
Okay, so that's well, you gotta write that shit out as a string, not just bytes. So you gotta parse that bitch into a.
Yes. Let's see. Dlang byte array to
I will say though,
string.
I like the pretty print of an array, unlike some other
Yeah.
language.
What in the fuck captcha was that?
It is byte. Oh. Huh?
So would that be cast? Jesus.
Maybe I could. Can I say? Here. No.
No, because you want the array for the return part.
Okay, so I'm gonna just call this. Okay, so I want
Can you
a
can you just make an
character array copy equals data dot idupe. Yeah, immutable duplicate. And this probably should be immutable character copy. What? What did it say? Says cannot mutable ubyte.
implicitly convert dividend by user to string?
Oh, probably I need to.
Cast
Yeah.
immutable char. Now their char has an asterisk.
It's like it's an immutable character array. Okay, let's just say character array for a second. I still don't want to do data idip. Can I just like cast? To character
Ooh,
array. Oh, there we go. Can I cast to immutable character array? Yes. Yes. So make a duplicate of right ln the copy length, and here instead of doing all that I can wait. Here I can return handler of
well,
data semicolon.
not to
Alright, there we go.
not to step on you here, but you guys might be able
Yeah.
to give some insight on this as well. Our friend in chat left a comment initially talking about Spring Boot, but then moving on to saying that he gets imposter syndrome, that he is not learning anything. Everybody learns at their own pace. I'm not really. Okay. I've got quite the background. And this is actually probably going to be nice for you to hear. And it's great that that Josh is in here. So To address your imposter syndrome and feeling like you're not learning things. Okay, I've been using Java for a very long time, and I'd like to believe that I'm very confident in what I do. However, I moved into this new Discord a few months back called Together Java, where I met a whole bunch of other Java developers. And when I first went into there, I had a lot of imposter syndrome, and in fact still do. And one of the people who give me imposter syndrome is in this voice call right now. Uh, he is one who I feel very much like he is way above me, and whenever I get into a chat with him, I always feel like I am not at his level, and I feel like I shouldn't be there. Um, don't let that get in your head too much. That is it is something that will
Listen,
definitely eat you apart. Um, however, um, honestly, the more you're around it, the less you'll feel the imposter syndrome. Because again, the more that I'm around these people who intimidate the hell out of me, the more that I realize that they are just as good in their field as I am in my field, and it just so happens that we just so happen to expertise in different areas. Um, if you're feeling imposter syndrome about the fact that you don't feel like you're learning something, don't try to compare yourself to how other people learn. Comparing yourself to how others learn or how others do something is a great way to set yourself up for failure. Personally, I like to compare myself to myself yesterday. And if I am going to compare myself in any way, shape, or form to somebody else, it's just more that I look at what they have to offer and I set that as a goal for myself that that's where I would like to be. Um, so if you're struggling with the issue of trying to learn Spring Boot, trying to understand a language, trying to understand something, and you feel like you're getting nowhere, and that you're starting to feel this feeling of, why am I doing this? I don't really belong. Um, that's something that I've struggled with for years myself, especially in this scene, is feeling like even though I have quite a bit of background experience, I've been doing this for far too long, I still feel like I'm not good enough and I still have my own self judgments. Um, Mental health is definitely something to to not really take lightly. I would recommend you getting a coding partner or like a rubber duck, and it would help you out. Um, it would definitely help you out with your imposter syndrome if you can feel like you're learning with something else at the same pace. So if you can find yourself a coding partner of equal experience, or maybe somebody that is willing to be a senior mentor to you, that might help you grow out of that shell of imposter syndrome and make you realize that, or help you realize that you do matter and you do fit in. And it's not so much that you don't fit in; it's just that you learn at a different pace than anybody else. We all learn at different paces. We all evolve at different rates. We all do different things. Um, and again, just to kind of go full circle back, I used to be extremely intimidated by Tonic Box and Josh. I'm less intimidated by Tonic Box, still intimidated by Josh, but not nearly as much. And just the imposter syndrome is something that never goes away. It's learning to how you can sort of break free from that. Because again, I've got over 20 years, we'll say 2001, so 25 years experience with programming in general. So I'd like to think that I know what I'm doing, but I still get imposter syndrome today. I just have new ways of handling it and dealing with it than I did in my younger years. And that is a long-winded way to answer your question. If any of you guys have a
Yeah, I
comment you
think
can drop?
something important to realize is I'm a total disaster for like professional Java backends or just professional backends that are anywhere past like a mid-level engineer. Like I don't know the ecosystem well. I don't know the tools like the pros do. I don't know the ins and outs of this. This is fine. We all come together to make computers useful for others, right? In different ways. We all need each other to make computers something people rely on, something that people use. I mean, great. Like example. Oh, like you can get. Who needs a backend? I'm like, well, okay, I can build you a compiler. If you're not gonna write actual useful thing for people to use
I'm
with
actually
that language or that compiler I built, what's the
I'm
point of me
I don't want to
doing
cut
it?
you I don't want to cut you off, but I'm actually really curious just because again, you've triggered this in me. What what was the last situation that you can think of or remember where you felt imposter syndrome? Like what was the last
Uh,
task or thing or interaction that made you feel like you didn't belong or that you were out of place?
in my field or another field, I can tell you for I can tell you for sure I had imposter syndrome last month when dealing with some web from some. I was making a website. We had to make a website for a project, and I was just like constantly having to look stuff up on the docs, and even then, it was like I didn't understand. In CSS you got the tags where you can put like I forget, it's like colon colon. You can have like host. You can like to do complex animations, right? You have like a thing. You have like you have your selector, and then you can do like you have different features you can add on top of that with like colon colon and then something, right? Colon colon after stuff like that. I'm bad at that. I felt not good at that. In terms like talking to other people, uh, that uh, I would say, hmm, a few years ago probably.
Mm.
I think sometimes I'd feel intimidated by people. I feel very intimidated. I still do sometimes. I'd feel intimidated by the idea that my own work is just no, not professional, right? Not I never
Oh, that's a thing.
I
That's a
sort
whole
of
other topic by itself. I always feel like my code is not professional and like never to like the
but like,
grade that it
in
should be.
compilers, right? In compilers you have a lot of people who are like the pros and the people who do toy stuff, right? And until recently when I started talking to more like GCC people, right? The actual pros, right? Well,
Hmm.
I'm an actual pro, but I until started talking more to my cohorts, right, about it. Just I had this sentiment, like sometimes I'd be like, I had to do this, and also because the Swift thing, I'd taken way longer than I anticipated to do it right, and I thought what I was so slow, I'm so bad at this, and then when someone came in from my field and was like so impressed. Like they couldn't believe how much I'd run. I was like, "What are you talking? What are you saying, man?" They were like this is insane already."
Mm.
So I will say it's not saying that you need validation. It's more saying that sometimes when you are new, even if you think you know a space well, I think that sort of threshold where you know your space, but you're still more of a lone wolfer. That was me. I did that stuff a lot, but I was more on my own before, and just this feeling that you're on your own. So have you actually made it, right? And that moment where you were able to like just talk to the other people, and the answer is obviously yes, right?
Now, he had just dropped a comment saying maybe chasing for perfection can be one of the reasons. Now, here's a nice thing that not a lot of people talk. This is something that's in a way sort of similar to men's mental health. Not a lot of people talk about it. We all go through it. Um, People don't talk too much about, like, people just have these assumptions about professional programmers, similar to like how people have these assumptions about men in like society. So like people assume that, oh, if you're a professional developer, you must know everything there is to know, and you must write some of the cleanest code that I've ever seen. I'll tell you right now, 25 years with Java, I still Google a fucking lot. And as for clean code, I like to strive for clean code, but chances are, if you catch me just writing stuff, you're going to see some of the messiest code you're ever going to see as I fly off the cuff and figure it out. But once I get it, I'll tidy it up. But like, don't strive for perfection right now. Honestly, strive for functionality. Make sure that your stuff works rather than looks pretty. Worry about making
I'm
it
gonna
pretty afterward. That's just my
I'm
take.
gonna also say something. Strive for curiosity.
Yes, that's my ender with every video on this channel. Keep your curiosity open.
That the reason I know so much was because I have when I get nerdy or passionate about any topic in life, not just computers, I just have an unsatiable appetite to just understand it all, for it to all connect to like be a connective tissue, then it all makes sense together.
Some people
And
call
for
that
that,
autism.
you have to be very curious and inquisitive, and don't be afraid to ask the questions you're asking
Hmm.
and figure things out. And don't be afraid to make hypotheses either and test them out.
Right?
It's about learning.
Get messy,
And
make mistakes, and fuck around and find out.
yeah, exactly.
A mixture of Midnight Coder and Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus. Had to mix it up so I don't get sued.
Yeah. Lawyers on your doorstep.
Right? They'll still show up in the little yellow bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Mr. Glabe,
You're being
we would
summoned to
like
the
some money.
principal's office.
We would like some money. Like, he pulls out
Shit.
his wallet. It's like, no, not your wallet. You're gonna need more than that. Where's your credit card?
These fuckers be looking like, Mr. Glabe, we're looking for money. And I'm looking at them, looking around left and right. Yeah, me too. Where are you looking? Where have you looked and found none? Because I won't look there.
I need to feed my family, Mr. Glabe.
So do I, man. We're having the same problem. Let's work together to find this. You're very welcome. Just don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're not already, jump in my Discord and ask questions. Be curious. It's a great way to find out.
Be curious and don't be afraid to, if it's for programming specifically, don't be afraid to practice.
Right?
And test out your knowledge with those who you deem to know more
If you're looking to get into
about.
Java, I would highly recommend the Together Java Discord. It's a great channel with about 40,000 Java developers that are all looking to learn or teach. there's a mixture of people from fresh out of the gate new to multi-decade veterans. So like it'd be a great Discord to also join into.
Maybe I should.
And then we have another gentleman saying Kotlin East.
I like Kotlin.
I like Kotlin too, honestly. I've never explored the multi-platinum link, but multi-platinum. Oh my god, multi-platform. Jesus.
Please, please, Nintendo, do not sue us. Thank you.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, did we get it?
So, Mike, you were asking about concurrency, and here's concurrency for you in the D. So it's apparently message passing concurrency, meaning threads in D do not share global variables. So meaning all global variables according to the docs are thread local. So the only way to share them is via message passing. And here I declare the receive handler for this thread. I spawn the thread, I get a tid, and then I send the
A tid.
number 69 to the tid.
Is that like a tidbit?
And no, it's a thread ID, obviously.
I know, but just the tidbit, bits, bytes. Fuck off. It was funny. Fuck off. You ruined my joke, you bastard. I'm trying to be funny.
Oh, one other thing.
Yeah.
Can't. One of the most important things I learned. Have passion for explaining what you love. You will only get better at it.
And Azura says Dlang discovered.
There we go. Yeah, by the way, our curl also works. So just so you know, there we go.
Oh, you got it to print out to the. You got it to go to the string. Perfect.
Yeah, I got the HTTP request.
The HTTP.
So yeah, we did it all. We did the higher lower. We did the threads. We did the HTTP. Yeah, it's absolutely poggers.
Look at that. Woohoo!
Yeah. And now I'm going to just to pour salt on the wound. I'm going to show you how easy it is to write a web server in C#.
Oh, we're gonna do some C# now, are we?
It's just because you mentioned it. It's just that.
C#. C flat.
There you
go. Oh, fuck you.
Beat that, Java boy.
Bam! The language suffers from a lack of comprehensive libraries and frameworks compared to competitors like C++.
Only library I need is system calls. I don't know which library you're talking about here.
It even does.
Okay.
That will be
hey, I need to make I need to migrate prop to an OS where our policy is to mess with user space every 2 months. By changing ABI every 2 months and also changing our syscall service.
That's like you just described the Windows in a nutshell.
Well, listen. We gotta do it. We all know that the second time's the charm.
Yeah. Well, React OS still doesn't understand multi-threading. It can only run on one core. I attempted to boot it in a virtual machine and it blue screened. So.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Oh, still the guy saying C# forever.
That's a nice language. You know, C# kind of like made Golang obsolete for me because of the native AOT feature. I was not looking for like it's pretty like
prop. This is a bit outdated, so it's no longer du jour, as they say. But why don't you search up for B flat?
What, B flat?
Yeah, man.
C#? No, it's not language. It's not a language. It's a build. It's a tooling. So
build native apps for Windows, Android.
But most importantly, it's bare metal C#. This is completely bare metal C#. There's no GC at all. There's no runtime.
Oh shit!
What?
This is an LVM based C# front.
I thought that the .NET's native compiler is also LLVM based.
Yes, but this one will not. This will go. This is no JIT.
Yeah, I know, but then if I compile to native .NET, then it will not.
Sure, but there's
JIT.
usually quite a big runtime, right? With this, you can the normal standard library is out, unless you want it. Like if you go back, right? Oh, are you trying to get it or something?
I'm thinking. I guess so. I guess it. How is there a source code for that? Yes.
Yeah.
How popular is it?
It's old school. It's a bit older school. It was before native.
Like
OG.
2 years.
It's only 4,000 stars.
Hey,
Got a couple.
The last contribution has been
A year
year.
ago? Oh, 8 months
10
ago.
months. Yeah, 10 months ago, which is just a bump.
Well, 8 months ago in the source.
So if you go to the B-flat website, right? The key chart is go down here. The two things you can, right?
The no standard library.
There's no
Okay, no
forwarding,
interop, no garbage, no exception. Oh, Hawk Tua.
everything else, and also you get to target UEFI, which
Damn.
allows you to
4
build
kilobyte.
a full operating system and UEFI apps without needing a kernel.
Yeah.
Bare metal.
I mean, bare metal UEFI apps are Win32p.
They are.
P,
They are.
So
They are. They are.
mildly not surprised. It's unfortunate that Microsoft polluted P's with also the .NET P's, which are by my standards not P's, but they can P us off.
But I will say it's a really cool thing if you want to use the level C#.
Yeah, I see.
And
I mean,
joke-
but like, let's
the
be
tagline,
real.
right? The tagline for B flat at the time was about Go, right?
Yeah.
C# as you know it, but with Go inspired tooling.
Yeah. Yeah, but like Go, we also cannot really run EFI and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Go. As far as I gather,
That's
the
interesting.
only really good selling point of Go is their runtime and the fact that their compiler compiles every function to be a Go routine, so i.e. to be suspendable, so it can preemptively multi-thread. Which is again.
Maybe we'll
There's
do
a-
some C#.
There's a comment there that might be interesting to you, Josh. Speaking of languages, one of my friends just created a concept no build architecture instead of adding libraries to compilers. That might be something that's kind of interesting, and
no build.
you might have.
The idea that I heard of the no build idea. The idea is that you write a program which installs its own dependencies and compiles itself.
Yeah.
You're not the first one to invent it. Nobody is the first one to invent anything. Everything is always stolen. I'm kidding, but in this case, unfortunately, you're not the first. Now, no builds, in my experience, while they are cute, they very rarely work. Because depending on the specifics of the system environment, the dependency procurement scheme they have tends to break.
My curiosity is twitching. What is an example of a language that is no build?
I mean, heck, if you could do it in C++, I mean, Soding, the streamer, actually wrote his own no build. I think it's Knob. Yeah. So here you go. This is what Soding wrote on his stream. He has about 100,000 subscribers more than us for now.
For now, that's the key
And
word. If you
basically-
haven't subscribed, subscribe. We're getting there. I don't know what that was. but it was a thing.
Basically, what it does is it builds itself basically. So it's a program which is the build system for itself. And funny enough, for Soding, how much he cried about C++, the majority of his project is C++. So
Okay, so he's just to follow up there, as you're saying that his friend didn't say that he invented it. He's just saying that he took what was already there and quote perfected it.
perfect. Yeah.
That's a dangerous statement to make about round no build.
And
Hey,
then
if you make it better, I'm happy.
CMake no build no build is available as of now. Also, era no helpers are essentially no build. Okay.
Yeah.
I probably could have read that to myself, but I totally had to mumble that out loud because it's like what
Well, you're the
3:30 in
midnight
the
coder,
morning.
bro. I don't want to hear 3:30 in the morning complaints from you.
What kind? Who's complaining? It's 3:30 in the morning. I got a pot of coffee in the kitchen. I got fucking entertainment going on here. And more importantly, I'm live on YouTube about a topic that I know nothing about. It's fucking wonderful.
Hey, I mean, for knowing nothing about Dlang, and frankly, I barely knew anything going in. We wrote 3 very successful programs, in my opinion. I
Yes, you
mean,
did.
I can, I can challenge the,
we got a good glimpse of the language, I'd say.
yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, writing more complicated stuff probably would require dependency. Then, as you saw, my dependency management scheme really doesn't play nice with the editor because it blows up.
So what kind of ecosystem exists for 4D? Like, is there any frameworks
I think they
whatsoever?
have like a depopular library. Yeah, so there's this repo called Awesome D.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I
I
know
won't
you
go. I
have an
won't go there.
Awesome
I
D.
won't go there. I won't go there.
So there's a bunch of websites, people, organization, books, yeah, tutorial blogs, compilers. Dev tools,
Snazzy
build,
compiler.
yeah. Yeah, there is even
Oh,
a
Visual D.
IDE for D,
A
which
Visual D.
is
Oh my
written
god.
in D.
I could just
But
imagine what
it also doesn't work. I tried it.
I could just imagine the Google search for Visual D.
Oh, the thing I don't like.
They really could have
Yeah,
named an
so we have a
IDE
bunch of there
better.
we go. So we have a bunch of libraries here. So we have web framework, core
I'll leave
utility.
it up to the viewer's discretion to figure out what I did not like reading that list.
What?
No, it's more of a. I said I'll leave it up to the viewer's discretion to figure out what I did not enjoy reading in that list.
I didn't like the
What
Visual
did you
D.
in which list? Oh, visual.
No, it was the the parser generator.
What parser?
Where are we?
Donart?
Oh my god. DDPG.
I Dragon book with my.
Yeah, Dragon Book. That book I keep hinting at.
Yeah. Well, I think it's public domain. No, Red Dragon compiler book. Yeah, there's always someone from China who publishes the PDF publicly available.
At least somebody's
So it's a big book. But this is, as far as I am aware, the authoritative handbook to compiler development. And, I mean, it's like 1,000 pages. So after
Jesus.
memorizing 1,000 pages, you're officially a compiler dev.
You hear
There's
that?
also a lot of
You hear that, Josh? Standards are set.
Listen, these guys, they don't know about maintainability. I'm kidding. No, it's just I don't like parser generators.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They do. You'll find in the compiler world that a lot of people are kind of split in between two camps. Some people love them. Some people, like me, shaking
'em.
my head. We don't like them. Yeah, you.
Hmm.
So, so, so I'm not one of the guys, and the Dragon Book is very much on the other side of the camp, which is what's really, guys. All right.
Yeah,
Look at
but
that.
as
There's
we
a
can see, there's a bunch of even yeah, I know that quite a few games were written in D
what?
Yes.
because it binds nicely to native languages and you don't have to do the memory
Really?
management yourself.
I would
Although
not
I
have.
feel like writing a game in D is a bad idea because the garbage can add stutters to your game.
I didn't think that
There you saw games right
games
there.
would. Yeah, I was gonna say, was that a
Yeah.
list right down there? Oh yeah, look at that. Multiplayer deathmatch. Dun dun dun.
Robot Tank Value.
I like how it's a 3D game.
Also, all of these are open source. I'm sure plenty of
Yeah.
them are proprietary.
Clean as Pookie Haunted House.
Clean as Pookie.
Oh, wait, it compiles to Wasm?
I guess so.
Ooh.
Yeah, that makes sense because it has a GNU and LLVM back.
Yeah.
Controls. Broom. Dang.
How do I move it? Do I go like arrows? Oh, I do. Arrows. Oh my god.
And
D is
WSD.
working.
WSD and arrows.
Okay. Do I like anything? Like E if I can do space? Oh, I can. Space to clean up. 160? 159?
We get the timer.
Fuck, I need to do this to my room, not to a video game on the internet.
No, can't clean reality. You can only simulate that shit. Come on now. Oh, you did it.
Oh, I can go up.
Oh shit. There's more mats.
That's kind of nice, by the way. Spamming the space bar to clean. Okay. There you go. Nice. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Now look for the Java people, right there.
What?
Dependency injection framework with
Oh.
auto-wiring.
All right, here
hate
comes
dependency injection.
here comes Spring D.
Spring D.
No, honestly though, D was very much at one point. D was the modern Rust at one point. So D was the Rust of the.
It's even got
2000s.
support for auto wiring. Oh.
Why, my god, the fuck is this? Why? Okay, well, it looks like Rust is
What?
dead.
Why'd Rust hit the floor? What is this?
They moved to rustlang.org.
Oh, why not? You gotta put a 300 in there. Forward that shit.
Their website really? Yeah, okay. Wait, I'm gonna test their web. Okay, they actually did do web dev properly. Nice.
Oof. Yeah, my
What did they write this in? Please tell me they wrote it in Leptos.
My website is definitely not mobile friendly.
Yeah, well, our comrade was telling us to do this, and I might do it sometime. Anyway, but yeah, anyways, that's all.
404 Rust flashbang.
Now. Yeah.
404
That's
Rust
all I wanted to
flashbang.
do with D. So
I can't think of
if y'all
anything
have
else.
any ideas, let me know. I can't think of anything else either. I think it was nice to write the higher lower game. I think you need to think of a new challenge game for future streams.
Hey man, go to the
that
midnightcoder.dev/mentor. There's 6 of them on there right now.
And midnightcoder.dev.
Yeah, it's not mobile friendly. Get out of there. Get out of there. Just go to the mentor page.
Rock, paper, scissors, swing. Oh, that's something we need to do.
Rock, paper,
By the
scissors,
way,
swing. There's a
complete
task.
tangent, but.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There might be one. There might be a new challenge there for people in a month.
Yes, I am totally collaborating with Josh on making some real challenges, as we'll call them, or some advanced challenges.
So there we go. By the way, the tic-tac-toe actually worked.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were working on this.
Yeah,
I will
and
say
there we
the
go.
size of the X and the O's compared to the size of the cells is comical.
Right? That's fucking
It's
comical. That
because it's a pixel text, you know.
oh man, you got to make that text like fucking 32 characters or 32 bit.
Game mode enabled.
What the hell? I just have some. What the hell is it? What? I pressed some hyperland keybind and I forgot what it does. No! Is
I'm
it?
gonna send this to someone who keeps harassing me about how.
Fuck! Okay, be right back. I mean, long back.
Oh, oh, prof.
See people, that's why we stay nicely in our blankets.
Hey, dude,
There you go.
1v1 me. 1v1 me on Rust. Sure, cargo or Rhea or Rest up, Rest up.
There we go. Sorry, I accidentally pressed some button on hyperland and it went apeshit crazy. You know, when you have a keyboard-oriented workflow, you should be really careful to not make typos. Oh man.
That would be me. I fucking typo all the time.
Yeah, like typo and then it's like shutting down. Unsaved progress? Well, you said to delete it. You just didn't know that you said to delete it. Nah, but for real, Josh, you should try the base i3 configuration with like just the default. It works and it's really good tiling window manager and it's much less typoable than whatever configuration I copy pasted here.
And I grew up on the original iFree, so
Yeah.
can't imitate.
Yeah, I mean, on my free BSD system, I use i3.
Let's see.
You know, I have it installed here too, but when I'm thinking like if I already wasted all the time on configuring this hyperland, I might as well use it. Most of the time, it works well.
So is there anything else that you want to add to the D conversation, Josh?
No, I mean, I think there was something that we could talk about that's a bit extra, but I think I'll reserve my comments on that for maybe when we do PHP eventually.
What is this?
PHP?
Wait, PHP? Holy shit. Flashbacks of the fucking 2000s. Fucking late 90s, early.
Get that stuff out of here. Modern PHP is awesome.
Oh man, I don't know. You're gonna have to sell me on that one. Like
Modern PHP is amazing. The language is if there's ever a language that deserves the most improved award in the last decade,
I don't
definitely
know.
them.
I don't know, dude. When I first PHP is the reason I hate web development. I utterly hate it.
I don't even understand why PHP is used for the web. Like, it's just an interpreted language as far as I know. Like,
Well, because because PHP started as template, I think, right, for HTML, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but
Like
that, I mean,
HTML's
it's an interpreted language.
HTML's not bad, but like I don't know, like writing PHP code.
uses the JIT. Modern PHP uses the JIT. Has used the JIT for a while.
I don't know. I couldn't like in the early 2000s. I just could not get behind writing massive PHP files. And then like websites used to be like this.php or this.html, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you actually had to specify.
If you wanted a foo bar route, you'd create foo/bar PHP, which I kind of like for beginners, but.
Like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
but
You're
nowadays it is irrelevant. I mean, Thymeleaf exists in the Java world, ASP.NET and Blazor exists in the C# world. There is Leptos in the Rust world.
I
and
still
in
stand
Rust world,
by. I
yeah.
still stand by. Modern PHP is a fantastic language, and its ecosystem is one of the strongest out there. Laravel is a
What?
crazy strong force. You got Symfony, you got Igniter. Laravel is insanely strong. Laravel is literally one of the most popular, if not the most popular
I don't.
framework for like
What
small
is
companies.
what is
Wait,
Laravel?
but Josh, tell me, why would I take a slow interpreted language with
Because you
shitty
don't
syntax?
No, because the modern syntax of PHP is awesome, for one. It really is. And two, because it's just do you have a need for, it can handle it can handle a pretty large number of requests pretty well. And the ecosystem is just, you don't have to think about it. You can iterate so much quicker on features. And that combination just makes it really good.
And I have to ask the very stupid question, but if I want very quick iteration, why don't I do what Override showed us a while ago, Next.js and React and TypeScript?
Sure, that's always been the competitor to something like Laravel, right?
Hmm.
But Laravel, I would say, is more the advantage you'll have with Laravel is the same advantage you'd have with Ruby on Rails, right? Or Django, for that matter. It's just the idea that it's an omakase that is it's an omakase of its batteries included to a point that few other frameworks are. If you look at the framework tab,
Mm-hmm.
they don't go to view all.
Oh. Oh my god, it's big.
Yeah, they don't tell you
That's
as
what she
much,
said.
but I can tell you, Laravel ships in the box with
What
the
the
base
fuck,
template.
Mike?
What? Sorry. Ships in the box with the base template for so many things. It is just incredibly productive. It can handle tens of thousands of requests per second, no problem, pretty easily. It
Wait,
is.
so PHP with runtime. Is it like a special runtime of the sort of um?
And it was made
There,
much
I don't know.
faster. It was made much, much faster in recent releases.
Yeah, but my question is it of the sort of like Erlang and Elixir? By the way, I have a guy to need to learn Elixir from, but of those families where it had like a highly concurrent, preemptively multitasked runtime.
Yes, there's
Oh,
there's an option. The not the default one. It's not the default one, but it's there's one that is used that is very
Erlang. Oh.
uh just look on YouTube, right? I have to remember the way I found it was like PHP is a blocking language or speech
What is the PM?
non-blocking runtime. Say non-blocking runtime. React PHP or something?
Down one more. There you go.
Bruh. You know, the more I look at PHP code, I have to say, the more I think, oh, I'm glad I'm not writing this.
This is older PHP code.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
You
again,
can tell.
you're definitely gonna have to sell me on the newer
No, I
PHP.
will. But there's one concept from D that is very good that comes from the PHP world. So, although it won't.
Also,
Okay,
It's
Prof,
for fans of composition out there.
yeah.
Prof,
And let me put it this way, yeah.
your what you call it is fucking blurry.
Okay, I have one thing to ask of you. Go to most popular backend frameworks. Look at charts.
Stack Overflow. Database and cloud development.
Web frameworks and oh, Jesus.
Take a look.
Okay. I can't tell because your stream is very small.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in. Hang on, what is this? Cloud, not cloud development, web
Okay,
frameworks and technology. Yeah? Sorry.
Here, Prof. Prof. I just shared you a thing on Discord. I just shared you a Nitro, so that you can.
Oh, but
put
this
your...
should be big enough, no? Is
No,
it?
no, no, no. I just
Yeah, it
mean
is.
so that your quality can be better.
Yeah, but this is big enough. Don't worry. No need. So Node.js is expected. React is also expected. This I think is as far as I gather from Google searches, this is outdated, and then Next is very quickly climbing. Express is obsoleted by Next, and then we have C#.
Oh, look at that. Spring Boot sitting pretty at 14%.
Yeah, how did it feel to get outdone by Microsoft?
Don't do that. Like, oh, the shot's fired. I'm
Oh
hit.
yeah, there's Django
I'm
and
hit.
Laravel.
Yeah.
I'm hit, boys.
I mean, this is like. So Laravel feels like the best of the unpopular Chinese.
No, Laravel is no. Laravel is incredibly popular for small startups.
That's one thing I see.
It's probably the second most popular for small startups. If you go back to most popular backend, right, the Google search, right, and you go to images, right.
Most popular
Oh,
backend.
Pokers. Oh, it's a YouTube video. Okay, hopefully we don't get copyrighted.
Don't show too much
Okay,
of it.
let's just look at this. No, stop.
Pause.
Okay.
So this was the last year.
Nest JS? Huh?
But that is a bit older. Okay, Django's still pretty popular. Keep in mind, I think it's based on startups, right? Or number of companies who use it.
Spring's on the list. Sorry, I get excited.
Spring feature and the .NET is okay. Well, now
this is a bit older. I think this is a bit older because Meteor being so high feels weird.
Well, yeah, it's January 2025. There's February 23.
The part of me eventually once there's one stream once I get some time in. Eventually, I wanna.
Also, I point out number 1 there.
Spring used to be pretty fucking good. Look at that.
I'll keep pointing you on both of you guys. What is number 1?
Fuck you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The compiler.
What I wanted to say is part of me at one point in streaming, I wanted to write a backend in C++. Like, actually do the web properly in C++. But I've been having a little bit of, I don't know how much C++ you know, Josh, is maybe a topic for another day, but I've been having a little bit of trouble with ultra-modern C++, trying to figure it out.
No problem. We'll try to figure that out together.
Alright, but I think enough for the stream for now, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, we're rocking the 3-hour
2.5
mark or
hours.
close to, or whatever it is. Yeah, 2.5 hours. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap this up here, guys. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already for next time we go on another adventure. Make sure your curiosity is open. Your skills are sharp. And that coffee cup is full. Stay with us and stay tuned. We'll catch you the next time we F around and find out. Thanks, everybody.
All right. See ya.